Hey guys, Shake to Sports here. Here for the reaction to the Bills Bengals game. Obviously, if any of you watch this channel consistently, you know I don't run and hide from losses. I eat my crow and come on here and talk about the game and everything. Like I always do. Um, Listen, guys, the Bills got straight up beat this time, and this isn't really a man, this was a tough loss, but we'll get them next year type of game. This is I am very concerned for the future, and the Josh Allen and Diggs honeymoon may be over, and Allen's prime is waning, and the time to win a Super Bowl is waning. That's the kind of concern I have with this game. And for the first time this season, listen, I said it all season. The Bills shot themselves in the foot against the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Vikings. All three of those games the Bills should have won. The Bills should not have won this game. That they got straight up beat, and it was bad. They got dominated from start to finish. I mean, the Bengals scored 2 touchdowns on their first opening drives. We couldn't do anything after that. We scored 10 points total. If they just didn't bring their offense out on the field every other time, still would have lost. I think the moment where the game ended for the Bills was that third and second play. And this is where I am going to get very mad, because Ken Dorsey's decision to throw the ball downfield on 3rd and 2 is going to have me losing my mind every time you do it. Run the damn ball. There is no reason on 3rd and 2, when you're trying to get a first down to sustain the drive and keep your playoff hopes alive, you would chuck it downfield. It doesn't matter that they almost got it. It doesn't matter that Gabe Davis dropped it. What matters is that it's a risky throw, and it's a risk you don't need to take. Coach K from Duke says there's a difference between gambles and risks. There's a difference. Those are big-time risks every time you do it. And I said when we did it with Shakir, I don't care that he caught the ball. It's a stupid decision, because most of the time that's not going to work out. And what do you know? It didn't work out. We punted. They got a field goal, 3-possession game, and the Bills couldn't come back. I think at that point, too, they should have gone for it on 4th and 2 as well. But the reality is that you shouldn't be in that situation. But that's besides the point. Ken Dorsey was not the main issue, even though that is a massive pet peeve of mine. The biggest issue here is the defense and Leslie Frazier. Leslie Frazier may be on his way out, and if he's not, he's got one more season to turn this crap around, and if it doesn't, he is gone, and he needs to be gone. I just can't tackle. That one play with the Bengals where half the freaking field was wide open. There was literally one guy and nobody else. And they did no trickery either. There was no jet sweep. There was no Philly special. No nothing. They literally just snapped the ball and threw it to the tight end, and nobody was there. I'm not exaggerating. Nobody was there. No one. And that's not a player issue. That is a coaching issue. I repeat, that is not a player issue. That is a coaching issue. But there's definitely some things wrong with our players too. And I know Poyer and White got banged up on that play. And I don't think the refs were favoring one side or the other, really. I think that pass interference call was terrible, where they got banged into each other. I don't think that was pass interference, in my opinion. But, I mean, the Bills weren't going to win the game regardless. At that point, it was over. That did not determine the outcome of the game. And I know Von Miller's out, but when Von Miller's out and your defensive line can't get anything going, that's a massive issue. That's a massive issue. I mean, literally no pressure. No pressure. And what did I say? I said the Bills had 2 keys, maybe 3. One of them was Josh Allen playing well, and I think he kind of did. But the other 2, the Bills failed miserably at. Like F grade failing. Atrocious. One of them was to get off to a great start. Are you kidding me? 14-0. Just like that. Terrible. Terrible. 3 and out on your first drive. And I said this was a position where the Bills were not used to being down by this much early, and it showed, and they had no clue what to do. They had no answer. Key number 2, get pressure on Joe Burrow. That one they somehow failed worse at that. I mean, that was atrocious. That was atrocious. 3/5 of their offensive line was out, and they dominated you on the line of scrimmage. On both sides. The O-line got straight up beat as well. Straight up beat. They were forcing Allen to make bad throws. They were making him run all over the field. And I know Josh is not going to come out and say it, but the offensive line made him play worse. The defensive line of the Bengals got pressure on the Bills. And the defensive line of the Bills did not get pressure on the Bengals. That's just the reality. They got straight up beat. The secondary, very concerning for the Bills. All around. Listen, guys, I didn't want to come out here and say it, and I don't know if I did say it on here earlier, but I said the Bills' defense is overrated. And this gets into another thing with the media. I'll get into that in a second, but the Bills, I don't know what statistics are saying the Bills are like the 4th best defense in the NFL. That has to be a joke and a lie. I can name at least 7 defenses better than the Bills. Honestly. The Bengals locked us up. They locked us up. They held this Buffalo offense to 10 points. And the Bills gave up 27. It's something with the Bills playoff, and just cracking in the playoffs with their defense. But it's a huge concern. And Leslie Frazier may be a big part of that. I also think some of these guys are not as talented as we thought they were. I think we need to get a good offensive talent, or a good defensive talent, in the draft. But yeah, guys, some of these guys might be heading out this year. Like I said, the Diggs Allen honeymoon may be over. I don't know if one of Allen's definitely not leaving, but maybe Diggs. I don't know, but you had those 2 years with the Chiefs and the Bengals, and you lose in the divisional round both times. Bills had to play in both divisional games, and whoop-de-doo, the Bengals and the Chiefs are facing off in the AFC Championship once again. I'll be cheering for the Bengals. I despise Kansas City. I can't stand them. And, there's nothing but respect to Bengals fans and any Bengals players. They straight up beat us. They straight up beat the Buffalo Bills today. And, there was a time or two where Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, was pointing to Josh, and he was getting frustrated. The time you have to win a Super Bowl with a great team is very limited, and it doesn't come often. It takes a very special team. And I think the reality is that team was last year. I think last year was one of the best Bills teams I've ever seen, and somehow they only got to the divisional round. I truly believe if they won that game, they would have gone on to win it all. I don't think this team was that great this year. I think the Chiefs and Bengals are the better team this year in this conference. I believe that. Man, like, it is what it is. Bills lost, Bengals won. I mean, last year, there was at least hope and expectations for the future, and even though it was a soul-crushing loss and I was more devastated, it's just like, this year, like, they got straight up beat. Nothing you can do about it. I mean, nothing you can do about it besides the players being better is going to change that game. With the game last year, if there was a coin toss, like, if the coin toss went our way, we would have won. If you could have clutched up for 13 seconds, we would have won. There was nothing that was changing this game. And, everyone's saying that the Bengals rode the underdog mentality, and I think they did. And this gets me into my point about the Bills and the media, which is another point that's going to piss me off. Why are the Bills seen as this giant, this amazing super team that is going to be favored in every single game, maybe except Kansas City? Where did that come? Why is that expectation always given to us when we have made a conference championship once? Guys, Mark Sanchez has led the Jets to more conference championships than the Bills have. Like, what is this obsession with making the Bills, or thinking of the Bills as this amazing team? This team that is always favored and that the Bengals have no chance against. The Bills are going to win. I picked the Bengals to win today. I thought the Bengals were the better team. I thought Joe Burrow was going to play a better game. And he did. Both those things came true, but no, it's a big shocker that the Bills lost. Big shocker, huh? Not to me. I have no clue why Vegas had this at 5.5 for the Bills. If you chose the Bengals, that was free money. Free money. Ridiculous. I don't understand. I don't understand. We're just always seen as this team with a target on our back when we haven't won anything. The Bengals and the Chiefs have at least won an AFC championship, and the Chiefs have won a Super Bowl. The Bills haven't won anything! But they're seen as some otherworldly team. Like, seriously, if you go back to the last 5-6 games, maybe besides that last game in the wild card round, there I could see your point to how the Bills are the better team than the Bengals. Other than that, I don't see a point. The Bengals were the better team with better players, better coaching, and they straight up beat us in our stadium. In the snow. In our favorite weather. They straight up beat us in the snow. No excuses. I think Leslie Frazier needs to go. And there are going to be massive changes in the offseason. I don't know if Gabe Davis can catch a ball. Josh Allen's prime is running out and quick. Like, your chance to win a Super Bowl does not last forever, Buffalo. And things are going to need to change big time. Because you can't expect all your great players to be healthy at the end of the year, like Von Miller. And we missed him sorely. And he is running old too. I believe he's 35. And with yet another ACL tear, he might be calling it quits soon as well. Football is a very different game to every other sport, and your prime runs quick. So, I mean, we'll see, guys. Like, people are saying there's always next year. That's not necessarily true, guys. I don't know if this team's going to even be as good as last year, quite honestly. Uh, I think the reality is that 2021 was the year, and they lost to the Chiefs. They blew it. They blew it. 2020 was our year to get ready for things, and we were supposed to take a leap forward in 2021, and they somehow blew it, man. If the Bills don't win a Super Bowl with this Josh Allen era, that is going to be the point that people look at and say, "Damn, the Bills should have won a Super Bowl."